Okay, I think we have all the parts ready to go now. 4 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, and these 4, those are the same, those are the same, and those are the same. And what we're going to do is fit these onto here. We need some M8 washers and some M8 cap screws. 18mm M8 cap screws, sounds about right. These are nut 10 M8 profile bolts. Nut, in case you don't know, is the distance in the profile. So as you can see, this is nut 10. Most of the rest of the trike is made using nut 8. So that's slid onto here. And we'll do all 4 of those. Just note the ones at the bottom need to go in the opposite way around. So you can, as you can see, the bolt is pointing through in the opposite direction there. I was thinking before we tighten these up, let's put in our bushings as well. They just pop in there. Get them roughly lined up. So as you can see, the kingpin will be going down through the center of it. So these need to be lined up, but they tend to line themselves up. This all depends on how accurately you've made all 4 of your parts, that they're all the same, which is kind of handy. As long as they're similar to each other, I think there shouldn't be a problem. As you can see, we're not going to do that yet because this needs to go on, and if you put the kingpin in, then it doesn't fit. So take the kingpin out. This knuckle gets added and the kingpin goes through, but we've still got another piece to go on yet, and that's the steering link. So that goes through, and then everything gets pushed together like that. Do that on the other side. I think they should, the idea is they should all be in line. I'm not sure I managed that with these aren't very good, but so kingpin out again, line up the knuckle, and then the kingpin goes through the knuckle into the first one. Line up the steering linkage, line everything up, and it should all just hopefully push together. Come on, there we go. So that's all pushed together now. That's good. And then I ordered these linkage pieces. Now this bar here, I also have one of these already. It's screw thread left and right handed. So let's just check that. Looks to be standard right hand, and this is, oh no, that's a left handed one. Hang on. Oh yeah, right, this is the right handed one. And this is the left handed one. So yeah, screwing it on by turning it left. That's the steering linkage. Let's tighten everything now. One of the things that you need to watch out for is that these bolts actually do engage. So what I recommend is turning the thing so you can actually see down the profile like that, and you can then see if the bolt turns. So it needs to be dropped, and then you can see that the bolt locks in. I think you should be able to see that. So yeah, look, you drop it down and then make sure it's engaging and turning. It's a little bit harder for the other side, but you can just see inside. That's important because one of these bolts will definitely hold the steering linkage on, but 2 is obviously safer. So yeah, they'll need to be tightened up. And they do tend to engage reasonably well by themselves, but I would impress on you to double check that they are in fact doing it. So both sides. I'm not tightening this fully just yet, I'm just nipping it up. When we're done, we'll tighten it fully. Right, next one is these bolts, and they are carriage bolts, and these will be the thing that keep everything together. So they just slip in there, and this is where this slot comes in handy. Let's turn it up so you can see better, because the square profile on the carriage bolt then engages in the slot, and that then means the carriage bolt can't be turned. It means that when you put force on one end, that will just tighten everything up onto this shaft, and that keeps everything very tight. Let's put a couple of washers in between here. I've also seen there's a better way of solving this with the steering linkage. There's a another way that it's a cup and ball mechanism, and that might be a better way of doing it. The name of it, I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but I'll find it out and then put a link or put some pictures to it. Come on. This bolt's a little bit long, or I might need to put in a few more washers on here to lift it up. But yeah, this part I was mentioning actually just solves that completely. And they're, you know, a few pounds, dollars, euros on eBay. They're not expensive. Right. Oops. And then the last little bit. Put that there. The last little bit is to link the steering linkage to the knuckles. Now this should work. There are these holes here. Now I might have to cut these little screws down. They might be too long. They need to just go. Yeah, I think they will be too long. Let's see if I've got some shorter ones. Okay, these are a bit too short, but try them out. Oh, they should be. Well, they might be okay. Come on. Maybe even a little bit of Loctite on those. Oh, and of course, your knuckles need to be in mirror opposite to each other. That's important. Right, the last little bit, and this is kind of technically a part, but it's kind of sort of not as well. This is a nil nut with a countersink on it, or sort of a step with a step on it. What I've done is, normally this has an M8 threaded hole through it. I've cut that out, so it just it's a clearance hole. Now this is a standard part. This is DIN 630 or 63303. I'll check that. And this then goes onto here and provides a very good point on which you can tighten your nut. Now I've been using Nylox, which I just consider safer. This stuff isn't going to come apart. But yeah, you lift your coach bolt, or it'll make sure your coach bolt is aligned. And that will tighten down. And as it does so, it pulls. I don't know if you can see. There we go. It pulls the coach bolt up into it. Just see it coming now. Yeah, it takes quite a lot of turning, but yeah, it pulls the coach bolt in, and it also locks this kingpin in exceedingly tightly. There you go. You can see the coach bolt is now pulled firmly in. and everything's nicely tight. One of the things I realised, I've lost it of course now, yeah. One of the things I realised is maybe you don't want to buy another part, you just want to make it, in which case the holes that you drilled out of these are 24mm across, and then I put an M8 hole through it, and that basically does the same thing. You don't get the lip on it, which is possibly a little bit annoying, but as you'll see in a later video, that doesn't actually matter because it can be held anyway. So yeah, we'll tighten this one up. As you can see, it's sort of skipping around a little bit here, but once it's in position, you can sort of push it. There we go, and it does stay in place. But all of this is relying on the compression then of the tube against this bottom plate, and it does make it very, very firm. But yeah, you can see it doesn't line up particularly well, but again, that shouldn't matter, as you'll see in coming video when we make the handlebars and add some wheels to it. Let's add the steering link, show how far we've got. Yeah, there's our first bit of recumbent trike. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, I will be doing another one soon. What I'm going to do first of all is just go for a ride in between times, but we'll get back to this and yeah, have another look and fit some more parts to it and continue the series. So have a good time. I hope you maybe have a go at making this. Be great, be interesting. If you have any questions, give me a shout. Otherwise, until next time.